research assumption. So assumption is a realistic expectation, which is something that we believe to be true. Example, if you are taking a student, so after writing an exam, if you are asking the student, they will say that I will get pass mark. So that is an assumption. So assumption is just that we are believing that may be true or may not be true without an evidence. So however, no adequate evidences exist to support this belief. In other words, assumption is an act of faith. So through faith, we will be saying that things actually we may not be having the evidence, but with faith we will be saying. So if someone falls sick, so by faith we will say that the person will be getting cured. So that is the assumption. Assumption provide a basis to develop theories and research instruments, and therefore influence the development and implementation of research process. Coming to the definition, assumptions of statements that are taken for granted or considered true even though they have not been scientifically tested. So for every research, we will be having certain objectives. So we will be keeping an objective and a hypothesis and assumption. So before actually entering into the actual research process or the data collection, we will be setting an assumption. So we will be having a dependent and independent variable. So whenever we are introducing an independent variable, so always we may be assuming that the independent variable will be interacting with the dependent variable, and we will expect some changes in the dependent variable. So that it may not be verified or it are not scientifically proved, but you are assuming things will be happen like that. That is an assumption. Or assumptions or principles, those are accepted as being true based on logic or reasons, but without proof or verification. So sometimes something we will be assuming, so the things will be happening in this manner without having a logical reason or a verification. That is the assumption. So assumption says nothing. The things will be may happen or may not happen. So we will see the difference between assumption and hypothesis. So the assumptions are basically beliefs or ideas what we hold to be true, and the hypothesis is a prediction. And assumption often with a little of there will not be any evidence or not scientifically tested in research. But hypothesis always it is statistically tested and it will be proved, and either we will be accepting the hypothesis or rejecting the hypothesis. And in assumptions, we will be having a belief about the variables, and a hypothesis is a predictions about the relationship between two or more variables. That is, we will be predicting that there is a relationship between independent and dependent variable. And the assumptions based on the beliefs, the researchers attempt to discover the correlation, and hypothesis is always we are predicting a relationship between variable, and we are statistically testing and verifying, and scientifically we are proving that there is a relationship between two variables, that is an independent and dependent variable. So how these assumptions using in research? So the research is built upon assumptions since a foundation is needed to move forward. So whenever we are having basically if you are taking our life, so when you are planning to build a house or you are planning to choose a higher education, always we need some energy or motivation to move forward. Okay, so that the same manner, unless you are having a proper assumption in your research, we can't step forward or move forward. So that's why every research we will be adapting an assumption. So one must assume something to discover something. And assumptions listed in research paper may be good sources of the research topic. And assumption provide basis to conduct of the research study. So unless having an assumption, so without knowing that the thing, whatever, so whenever a researcher is doing something or introducing independent variable, always he or she will be expecting some change in the dependent variable. So example, you are going to an hospital with a fever or any sickness, so doctor will be giving a treatment. So what the doctors will be expecting, so whenever he is giving the treatment, always he will be expecting that things has to be getting subsided. That is an assumption. So that is the thing we are adapting. And tested assumptions through research studies expand the professional body of knowledge. So here you can see the types of assumptions. universal assumptions, assumptions based on theories, and assumption need to conduct a research, and warranted assumptions and unwarranted assumptions. So that is the 5 types of assumption. So we will see first what is universal assumption. So universal assumptions are the beliefs that are assumed to be true by a large part of society. Universal is the word itself, it meant that it's a word universe. It's a large part of society. So some assumptions, so the whole group, they will be assuming or they will be saying that the thing is happen like that. So example, you can take, there is a supernatural power which governs this universe. So every one of us, we are believing, we are assuming there is a supernatural power which governs this universe. That is the universal assumption. That is the assumption which is accepted by a large group of people or a society. The next is the assumptions based on theories. So the assumptions may be also based on theories which has been proved already. So research studies based, always we will be adapting a theory, or always our research studies based on the theory. So here the assumption of a particular theory may become assumption on that particular research study. So if you are adapting a Roy's adaptation model, and it will assume of this particular theoretical model. The third, assumptions needed to conduct a research. So some of the common sense assumptions developed to conduct a particular research. So that is the common sense. We will be having some of the research when we are doing example. The prevalence of coronary artery disease is more common among urban people as compared to rural people. That is the common sense we will be knowing, because the urban people, they will be having a low exercise, lack of exercise, the food habits, that is the lot of difference between the rural and urban. So that is by using the common sense, everyone of us are agreeing that the prevalence of coronary artery disease is more in the urban when we are comparing to the rural people. Then the fourth one is the warranted assumption. So these are stated along with the evidence to support. Example, regular prayers bring success because they boost moral. So most of us believing that if we are having a regular prayer or interacting with God, so whatever we are seeking, everything will be in and succeed. Then fifth one, unwarranted assumption. So these are stated without any supported evidence. So unwarranted assumptions, so that is, there will not be any supporting evidence. For example, Almighty God exists everywhere in this universe. So every one of us agree that Almighty God exists everywhere in this universe. So many of us may not be having a supportive thing. Coming to the examples of assumption. So Williams in 1980 review published nursing studies and other health literature where some of the assumptions were found. So first one, people are aware of the experiences that most affect their life choices. And most of the people are underserved areas feel underserved. And the people want to assume control of their own health problems. So most of the people want to assume they have their own control of health problems. And all of us agree that stress should be avoided. Then health is the priority for most of the people. Then most measurable attitudes are held strongly enough to direct behavior, and the health professionals view healthcare in a different manner than laypersons. So whenever you are getting an illness, for example diabetes or hypertension, so how we are adapting with that sickness, so that will be a lot of difference between a layperson and a health professionals. Then human biological and chemical factors show less variation than cultural and social factors. The nursing process is the best way to conceptualizing nursing practices. So here, through the nursing process, you'll be gathering so many ideas in order to render the nursing services. Then statistically significant differences relate to the variables under consideration. The examples continuing, effectiveness of plan teaching on the knowledge of staff nurses working in psychiatric unit regarding physical restraints for psychiatric patients in selected hospital. So here, this study based on the certain assumptions. You can see every nursing student is taught about physical restraint during basic nursing program. So you know that, so it's coming under the syllabus in the first year foundation itself. Every nurses are exposed towards and they taught about physical restraint during the basic nursing program. That is the first assumption. And the second one, awareness of alternative to the use of physical restraint is inadequate among nursing staff. So that is an alternative for physical restraint may not be, is always inadequate among nursing staff. And the third one is physical restraint is not the only treatment for behavioral emergency. So the third assumption, we are assuming the only the physical restraint is not the only remedy to treat behavioral emergency. So there are a lot of other remedies are available. Then the fourth one, untrained nurses are responsible for injuries of. Coming to the limitations. The limitations is nothing but the restrictions. Restrictions of the study, or we are keeping certain boundaries due to theoretical or methodological reasons. So that this may decrease the credibility and generalizability of the research findings. So usually there are two types of limitation in the research study which may reduce the credibility and generalizability of the research things. So that there are the two things which are adapting every study. That is, the first one is theoretical limitations and the second one is the methodological limitations. So the theory, only a lot of theories are there. So every theory we can't adapt on, we can't explain, and the things we can't get it out. So only a single theory which may be suitable for our research we will be adapting. That is the, we are keeping a boundaries in the theory. That is the theoretical limitations. And the second one is the methodological limitations. So coming to the methodology, it's a vital part of the research. Here we are explaining the research approach, design, and your sampling technique, everything you are coming and designing in the methodological limitations. So there are different types of approach are there, designs are there, and your sampling criteria are there, sample size are there, but you are scrutinizing or you are keeping a boundaries or limiting yourself in certain methodological limitations. That are the two limitations in the research, theoretical and methodological limitations. So what is theoretical limitations? Theoretical limitation is they restrict the ability of research findings to generalizers due to the use of specific theoretical concepts in the study. So its researcher will not be able to adapt all the theories, entire theories in the research. So only she will be adapting a single theory which is suitable for her study, that is limited towards the research, and through that research theory she will be explaining the operational definitions. Second, what is methodological limitation? So methodological limitation, already I said, that is usually result from some of the methodological factors like the design, setting and variables, data collection procedure, all the things will be limited in our boundaries. So researchers usually maintain limitations of their study so that the readers can have idea about the credibility and generalizability of the research findings. So one more example we can see in the limitations. Effectiveness of planned teaching on the knowledge of staff nurses working in psychiatric unit regarding physical restraints for psychiatric patients in selected hospitals. So here the study is delimited only to the nurses working in the unit of general and specific hospital. And the second one, the study is limited to population that speak only English. And the third, the study is limited to registered and licensed nurses. And the fourth, the study is limited to nurses with GNM and BSc nursing education. And fifth, the study limited to the experience level of the researcher. So we will be keeping an experience level of the demographic variables, that the research variables will be keeping that maybe 3 years or 5 years. So based on that, we are keeping a limitation or a boundary for our study. Thank you.